ready to work. We're ready to win. We have a strategy, and now we can begin. We are standing bolder, shoulder to shoulder. Playtime is over. Playtime is over. Now you are a champion. God is my witness. Imperfect perfection. Living my mission and winning. See, we are influencers. We have fear but don't stop. I have the confidence to rise to the top. We are standing bolder, shoulder to shoulder. Playtime is over. Playtime is over. All I need is inside of me. I am enough and now I see. Yeah, I will reach my destiny. Yeah, I don't need your permission. Yes, I'm on a mission. I'll win. Oh, oh, oh yeah. Oh yeah. Now listen, I want y'all to repeat after me, okay? Because we're going to make some declarations in here today. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. I'm building my legacy for the whole world to see. You say. I'm building my legacy for the whole world to see. Say. I'm building my legacy for the whole world to see me. Say. Say I'm building my legacy for the whole world to see. You say we are standing bolder, we're shoulder to shoulder. We are standing bolder, we're shoulder to shoulder. We are standing bolder, shoulder to shoulder. Playtime is over. Playtime is over. Hey, yeah.
Happy New Year! Okay, I know we like 9 days after the New Year. However, I'm just saying Happy New Year anyway because I haven't seen you guys live and in person here on the show since last year. I took a couple of weeks. I celebrated my 45th birthday. Yay! Happy birthday. Thank you. I'm grown now, y'all. Grown and sexy. And Christmas was amazing. New Year's was amazing. I'm happy to be alive.
Amen.
It's a blessing. Amen. Every day that I open my eyes, I'm like, thank you, God, and then let me go to work. Mm-hmm. That's it. That's just how I function in my life. Amen. Because I never, ever want to have a day where I lay my head on my pillow and I regret what I didn't do or what I didn't try. You guys got that? I'm giving a huge shout out not only to the ladies who are here in the studio with me, but to all of my amazing folks who are on Facebook Live. I'm shouting you out. Robin Williamson, Danielle Vaughn, Corey Wilson, Roz, I see you. Let's see who else we have. Chantel Teasdale, thanks for being here. Levy Harvin, thank you for being here. Miss Carrie Davis, we see you. Marilyn McCain, Rodney, hey, Copa Style Magazine is in the building. Welcome. Monique Stoner, Harriet Gibbs, all my Baltimore folks. Thank you guys so much for being here.
Baltimore.
Please share this out. Yeah, Baltimore in the building. Yes. That's right. So I'm going to go ahead and jump in. Before I do that, I do have to give a huge shout out to two people. I got to give a huge shout out to Tammy Turner, who wrote, produced, and performed that song that you hear us play every week. Cause she just bad. She bad to the bone. Bad Mama Jamma. And we love it. We love everything that song represents. And even though this show is called Impact the World Radio, y'all, I cannot get away from Playtime is Over. Like everybody who sees me, they always say, hey, Playtime is over, Cheryl. It doesn't matter how long I haven't used that saying. So I just decided I'm going to stop running from Playtime is Over. That is definitely the thing that kind of defines me and defines who I am. And how I show up in the world and how I help my clients to show up in the world. Playtime is over. We got to jump in and execute on the things that we know we are destined to do in this world.
That's it.
So, and then I also want to give a huge shout out to the sponsor of the show, Ladrine Peterson, my girl. She actually guest hosted for me last month. She was amazing. She has her own radio show, and she's doing such brilliant things in the world. Especially what I love about her is her commitment to helping young people. So she does a host of vision board parties that allow young people to come out and express themselves. And she's also doing a big book project, book anthology project with young people who are ages like 9 to 13. It's crazy, the amazing things that she's doing. So we are shouting you out, Ladrine. Thank you for sponsoring the show, but also just thank you for being who you are in the world. All right. All right. So who's next to me? Who's this amazing lady? Well, her name is Kendra Randall Jolivet.
That's it.
All right, now go, Cheryl. I'm making progress for the new year, y'all. And Kendra is an attorney. She's an entrepreneur. She's a professor, and she calls herself a community servant. She has garnered success in both civil litigation, child welfare, and ethics for attorneys and judges. And she co-founded an organization called A Step Closer Foundation, Inc., which is a nonprofit whose mission is to take children a step closer to their destiny. She recently co-authored a chapter entitled, or she authored a chapter entitled Healing the Girl Within. That's a part of a book anthology project that's going to be featured this March 2019, as a part of the anthology called Set Apart and Chosen. Her focus is producing a documentary through her company, Her Communications LLC, which I want to dig into because that documentary deals with my hometown of Baltimore. But welcome to the show.
Thank you, Cheryl. I appreciate you having me.
Oh my goodness, thank you for being here. So you just bad to the bone. That's why I love doing this show, because it connects me with so many amazing women all across the United States. We have women who fly in for the show and be able to sit next to you and glean from you and your expertise. So an attorney, a professor, I mean, all these things that you're doing. And then, but your focus is, you say that your focus is this book project and this documentary. Tell us about both and why that is the thing that is resonating with you right now and how you're going to impact the world with those projects.
Sure. I guess I can start off by saying that I've been a lawyer. Well, this year it'll be 25 years.
Wow.
And I'm thankful for everything that the legal field has brought me. But what I realize is it's time to do what I really want to do. And I guess for me, playtime is over.
Come on now. Okay. Playtime been over.
Yeah, it's been over. So I decided to focus. You know, there are a few things that God had shown me over the years that I was supposed to do. And right now I can thankfully say that I'm working on every single thing that he's ever shown me in my life.
I love it.
So
I love
it's such a blessing. So while I'm happy to be an attorney, I had my own practice for many years, but I closed that down. I have a job now where I have time that I can focus on the things that God has for me to do. Mm-hmm. One is ministry. One is this book that I've co-authored, or I've authored a chapter, as I should say, Set Apart and Chosen. And it's a book, a vision by Kimberly Rice. She actually is from Maryland originally, but she's moved to
Heavenly. You talking about Hawaii?
You know Hawaii.
My sister. Yeah. Shouting out Kimberly. Yeah. She joins us a lot of times here on the show.
Well,
she tunes in from
Hawaii.
We shouting you out, Kimberly. I love her. Kimberly and I, look, we have history. Kimberly and I were around when I first started speaking, like back in 2010. When I had one of my first speaking engagements through Heal a Woman to Heal a Nation up in Baltimore.
Yes.
They do an annual conference, Lathina
awesome.
and Monica.
That's right.
And that's where one of the places where Kimberly and I first connected, and we were both on our grind to becoming speakers. We'd be like, yeah, one day we gonna. And now you look fast forward and we're actually both doing the very thing that we talked about doing. So that is that just warms my spirit to hear her name. Awesome.
Yes. So it's her vision, and she wanted to get together a group of women who had overcome difficult circumstances. Yeah. So it can be children who were special needs children that they're raising. It can be you were abused as a child, or all kinds of difficult things that you've overcome. So she had a group of us write a chapter on what we've been through in our lives, how we've overcome it, and it's meant to be an inspiration and a help to other women who have endured different things, and to know that they can make it through.
So let me stop you right there, because a lot of times I feel like people diminish the power of motivation and inspiration. Why do you think it's important for us to tell our story to inspire other people? Like, why do you think inspiration is necessary?
Well, from my experience, I mean, I've had some difficult things that I've been through in my life, and I find that when I tell just a piece of my story, that it empowers another person, that it authenticates their experience, and it allows them the freedom to go ahead and open up and talk about it, to get the help that they need from it, to heal from it, and so they can know that they can overcome it. If you believe that I'm successful and I've done great things, then you can do it too.
Absolutely. I love that. So for all of you who are watching and who are listening, that's one of the things things that we encourage in this show is to always tell your story, because you free yourself, you heal yourself, but also you become that kind of that beacon, if you will, beacon of light or inspiration for someone else to look at and say, well, if she could, I can too.
Exactly.
I mean, that's all a lot of times people need is just a little glimmer of belief, a little glimmer of hope that, all right, well, maybe you just sharing your story could just be maybe I'll get started. Exactly. Maybe I'll try. It might not be the full catalyst to where they're going to go, but it could just open the door. And I think that's so powerful in sharing our story. So that's fantastic. That's beautiful. Talk about the documentary. So congrats to Kimberly. Congrats to you on the book. We can't wait to get our hands on it in March. Talk about this documentary, because that thing has really just intrigued me.
Okay. So it's called Baltimore Murder. And a lot of times we hear the murders that occur in Baltimore and how tragic they are, but we don't know the deeper stories, because after that initial news clip is over, that's it.
Yeah.
Or maybe you'll hear again one day, oh, he was convicted of murder and he's going to serve 25 years. But there are a lot of things that happen, a lot of people that suffer as a result of that one murder that occurred. So communities suffer, family members suffer, and not just of the victim, but look at the person who murdered as well. Their families suffer as well.
Oh my God,
because that
so
murder it's a whole circle, it's a whole group of people that are affected. There are many children that are affected by murder. And so the FBI in September of 2018, they did a report where they said Baltimore has the highest number of murders, in cities over 500,000 people. And so when I looked at that and I thought of, this thing that has been in my spirit for so long, I'm from Baltimore. Like you said, I grew up in Baltimore. And it hurt me when I hear every news story, or it hurts me every time that I see, some young person is killed, or and some families that suffer because of murder. But I want to tell the intimate stories. I want to tell the stories that you don't hear about on the news of the effects of murder. And my hope is that it's going to be a call to action for many people, for communities, for people who are young people, but for older people, anybody to get involved and to do something. And when you hear these stories, you're not going to be able to help but be impacted by what has happened and how people are continuing to suffer because of murder. And it's not just Baltimore. The thing is, a lot of urban areas around this country suffer from the same problems that Baltimore does. And the question is, what are we going to do? My thing is, everybody can do something. And this is what I've decided to do. I've decided to put it on the big screen so that the world can see, what the effects of murder, and hopefully I'm believing that people will be inspired to do something to stop the murders that are occurring.
Yeah, and I would go so far to say people will be inspired. Now, I'm not going to hope it. I already know it.
Because believe it's going to happen.
Yeah, because that's a powerful topic, issue, challenge that you're addressing. I love that you're addressing it head on. Again, I was born and raised in Baltimore all of my childhood. I grew up in a housing project, Lafayette Projects in Baltimore, and that was tough. And murder was that was an everyday thing. That wasn't something that was like, oh my God. It was an everyday, and even now, so I have a twin sister who still lives in Baltimore County. I have a brother and my mom. They're all in Baltimore County. So anytime I cross through that Baltimore, that sign, and it says, welcome to Baltimore, but I go through the city, like once you pass the Inner Harbor, because see, the Inner Harbor is not the real representation of what Baltimore, it's a beautiful place.
It's protected.
Yes, yes. But when you go into and you're going through the city of Baltimore, it hurts my heart what you see happening in the communities. People, still, and I'm 45. This is from when I was young, standing on the corner, selling drugs. The boys with the pants around, and they know that they're up to no good, and you just know what comes with that. You know what comes with poverty. You know what comes with all of the vices that are in that community, and unfortunately, murder is one of them.
The result.
But I love that you're taking the approach of there are victims on both sides.
Yes.
It's not just, it is absolutely the person who was innocent and was killed, but also the family of the person who was the predator.
That's right.
In that. And I love that you want to tell both sides of the story.
That's right.
And so when people see this, after they see the documentary, when you say everybody can do something, give me an idea. If someone's watching right now and they're thinking to themselves, how could I possibly help? What could I possibly do even once I see the documentary? Give us some examples of what you are hoping people will do to get involved and be a part of the solution.
Well, there are many things that individuals can do. You can work in your particular neighborhood, and one thing you talked about some of the neighborhoods in Baltimore. One major problem is the condition of the neighborhoods, and there are a lot of boarded up houses there. So if you're in a neighborhood where there are boarded up houses, what are you going to do with your community association to make sure that this is taken care of? The individuals that own these houses, that they keep them up. What are the requirements? In my neighborhood where I live, they make sure if something is wrong, they tell me.
Yeah.
And they give me a certain number of days to get it fixed. But why is that not the case in Baltimore City? And where you live has a big impact on your self-esteem and how you feel about yourself and what you're going to do. So that's one thing that they can do. There are citizen action groups that they can come up with. They can look at what's going on in the neighborhood. They can develop relationships with these young men that you're talking about on the corners. Maybe they want to mentor them, come up with some kind of organization. Maybe they can get the rec center opened down the street from the house. Maybe they can start a baseball, a football league, or some kind of organization that can give these young people something to do with their time and energy. Yeah. There's a problem in Baltimore where a lot of the rec centers are closed. They don't have a lot of things to do. And when you don't, then sometimes mischief happens. Yeah. But what is it that you can do to make sure that these young people have something positive and productive to do with their time? So there are plenty of things that you can do to help these young people.
I love that. I love a woman who not just has an idea, but got a plan. I mean, you clearly have a plan. Yes. And you are clearly, can y'all feel the passion? Like, I can feel the passion for what you do. Oh, and you just flow with that. Okay, let me tell you some of the things you can do. And all of those are things that any of us could do or become a part of or get involved in to help with the solution. So I love that. You're not just presenting, hey, here's a problem, look at the problem. You're saying, now let's create solutions, and here are some of the things that you can do to be a part of the solution. I love it. I love it. So let's go over to another talking point in terms of where you are right now in this season in your life. Because one of the things that you mentioned when we were booking you for the show was that you are realizing your dreams of being an author and a producer. And one of the things that you do is inspirational speaking, which I can hear the speaker all up in you.
Oh, thank you.
So tell me why the book, the producing, the writing, producing, and speaking, why you feel that that's a catalyst for your cause, and where do you want to take that? Like, where do you see yourself, and where do you see this mission? Let's just say 3 years from now. Let's not even take it 5 years out. Let's say 3 years from now.
Mm-hmm. Well, I will tell you what God told me many years ago is that I needed to tell my story. And telling my story is coming out in many different ways. Mm-hmm. One is in ministry. I was actually recently licensed only about a week or so ago as a minister at my church.
Wow,
and so,
congratulations.
Thank you. So I'm telling you, God is doing so many things in my life right now. It's just amazing. Telling my story in the book, Healing the Girl Within, and overcoming the childhood issues or dysfunction that I had in my home, and how I was able to overcome that by addressing the girl, little Kendra, within me, and having a conversation with her and healing her, and how that helped the professional attorney Kendra to continue and to go on to this, or to continue in the success, and to actually finally do the things that I've known that I'm supposed to do for many, many years. So that's one thing. And then your other question, and of course the Baltimore documentary, that's a part of it as well. That's who I am. That's a part of my story. And I love Baltimore. I love the city. And I want to make sure that I'm making an impact on my community that I love so much. And so all of these are a part of telling my story. Ultimately, where I see myself after this documentary is done is doing positive TV shows for girls.
Oh,
that's actually where I want to be ultimately. So in 3 years, that's what I want to do, is those shows that have been in my brain for many years. I want those to come to fruition.
I love it. So I'm giving a huge shout out to Amy Taylor. She says, yeah, her passion is definitely felt. Thank you for sharing. Roz says, yes, a planner executes. Violet says she has solutions instead of excuses, which plagues our community. Violet also says, be proactively involved with your community. Yes, Kimberly is agreeing that there are victims on both sides, and she's so glad that you are bringing that to the light. So again, it's necessary. What you're doing is so needed in the community. I love your passion for it. I love how God is opening up so many doors for you.
He really is.
And I love that you had a willingness to go where you were being called. because you said, one of the things you said earlier was that you closed down the law practice.
I did.
And you start walking in, because sometimes, and I don't know if this was your case, and I'll just speak for me and you can chime in. But sometimes just because you're good at something or great at something doesn't mean that's your passion.
Exactly.
That doesn't necessarily mean that is going to be the thing that you're going to use to leave your unique fingerprint on the earth. And so for me, I believe until you tap into your passion, like that thing that you're like, no, this is what I was born to do. Until you do that, there will always be some void. You'll always feel like you're still looking, like I'm not sure. And that's how I felt until I fell into the world of speaking. And now I get to travel all across the world. When I got to speak in South Africa to young girls that look like me, that were in a university, and look them in their eyes and see and remind them that they were worthy, that they are enough, and to see the hope, that little sparkle in their eye. I was like, oh my God.
It does everything.
It does everything to your spirit.
It does.
And that's when you get to feel that passion. So if someone is watching and they are doing something that they're good at, but they feel like there's a void and they feel like they're being called to something that's more of a passion. But then we, as adults, we're always scared because we're like, well, responsibility, my dream. Responsibilities, my dream. Bills, my dream. What words of encouragement, minister,
right,
would you be able to share?
Well, let me just start off by telling you this, that you may not remember, but I met you many, many years ago on a radio show by Ann Quasman.
I remember Ann Quasman.
Okay.
Yes.
And I remember at that time you said, I was a secretary, but I decided that I was going to quit my job and pursue my passion. And although I haven't seen you in many, many years, I never, ever forgot that you said that.
Wow.
And those words stuck with me. And that's just what we're saying. Those little words that you don't even realize what you're doing or how you are inspiring somebody else. But I never forgot those words that you said. And, and although it's scary as a lawyer with a successful law firm to say, I'm going to close this down and I'm gonna just get a regular old job so I can be a producer and a professor and write my book. It is scary. But one thing that I can say is that I've never been happier in my life. I have never been happier than I am right now.
I love that.
So I'm so thankful that I decided to do it. And in some ways I was forced to do it, if I'm honest with you, because as I said, God showed me these things so many years and I wouldn't do it until I was forced to.
Yes.
That this is what, nope, you can't do that. Nope, you're going to have to stop. You're going to have to do this, and so once he did that, I just decided, well, God, it's on you. Okay, I'm just going to do whatever you say. And once I did that, genuinely just gave it up and said, I'm just going to do whatever it is you want me to do, so many things have opened up. The professor, the book, the documentary, all these things that I've wanted to do for so long have finally happened. So I believe that you should go ahead with, if it's something that you're supposed to do and you're supposed to do it, then I would say push through.
Come on now, go through. Yeah.
Push through.
God does. He has a way of making you real uncomfortable, real uneasy until you move. You're like, oh, you still not moving? You still not budging? Let me give you a swift kick so you can get moving, because he already knows the gift that he gave you. And some of us, it's almost like getting a Christmas gift. You get a Christmas gift, like you can't wait to unwrap it. You can't wait to get into it. But some of us have a gift that's been given to us, and we're just keeping that thing beautifully wrapped. We're not unveiling what's inside. We're not opening it. Imagine if somebody gave you a Christmas gift in December last month, and they come back next December and that gift is still sitting there. Like, that shows such a lack of appreciation and gratitude for that person taking the time to give you that gift. It should be no different with your unique divine gift. Like, it was given to you specifically to execute, not to sit on it, not to leave it wrapped up and look pretty, but to execute. And every one of us deserves the opportunity to feel that sense of happiness that you're talking about, and that internal joy that I feel every day that I get to do what I love. But it's supposed to be scary. In fact, if it's not scaring you, I promise you it's not big enough.
Nope.
It's still too small. You still playing small. You still playing safe. If it's not scaring you, you should be like, look, it's something I say all the time. Woo, 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 woo. Like that, you should have a woo, 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 woo moment.
Yeah. Like,
when you're thinking about your dream and what you're about to embark upon, it should really scare you.
That's it.
Because if it scares you, that's when it grows you. It stretches you. But if it doesn't scare you, you're still playing in the space called comfortability, which means you're not growing, you're not learning, you're not evolving, you're not stretching. So I love it. I love it.
And one more thing I wanted to add, it's also a lack of faith, because if God has shown you something, that means that he knows that you can do it. And although you don't believe within yourself you can, you're not God. Yes. If he gave it to you, he showed it to you, then you can do it. Yes. Whether you believe you can do it or not, you don't even have to believe you can do it. All you got to do is have faith in God and just walk it out. So that's what people need to do, and stop being afraid of you. And I know that's something with me. I was afraid that I couldn't do. I'm not a movie producer. I can't. I've never done this, but he has found a way to bring people into my circle.
That's what
because I've decided that I was going to do what he told me to do. And the more that I'm in this circle, I find that they're saying, "Oh yeah, you're right. You're on point." But it's a naturally God-given gift. It's not. I wasn't trained to be a producer, but I'm walking out what God told me to do. Yeah. And that's what I would encourage any of your viewers to pursue.
I love it. I love it. I love it. When you say yes. All you got to do is give the yes. That's it. Once you say yes, like he starts opening doors that you didn't even know were going to be open. He starts sending people. You're like, wait a minute. Like, have you ever looked like, how did I get connected to this? Like, I think about some of the people I have on speed dial on my phone. I'm like, how did I get connected? How do I have Mickey Taylor, the editor-at-large of Essence Magazine, on speed dial? Okay. How do I have Les Brown's cell phone number? How do I have Lisa Nichols a direct contact? Like, when you think about that, like, it's divine connections, it's divine guidance, it's divine energy, because you said yes. So don't worry about, some of us focus too much on how. I got to know the whole blueprint before I take action. No, you get started, and I'm telling you, it literally, things will align in your favor as long as you are committed to. Now, there is a difference between being committed to and being interested in. Interested in means you do it when it's convenient, you do it when you feel like it, you do it when it look good. Committed to is, no, I do it whenever I can, when time permits. I'm working on the book. I'm writing another chapter. I'm creating the content so I can sell it to people in the marketplace who need it. Whatever it is, commitment is saying I'm in it for the long haul.
And I'm doing it well.
Yeah, and I'm going to cross the finish line. I'm not going to quit midway.
That's right.
Because I got tired, because it got tough, because the sun started beaming down on me harder. I'm going to press through every challenge, setback, roadblock. I'm going to cross the finish line. So I love the way this conversation is going. Let me just shout out everybody who's watching us on voxwave.com, because I always forget y'all. I'm not going to do that for the new year. And then going back to my peeps, who are over here on Facebook Live. Yes, Roz says, die empty, fulfill the dream.
That's it.
And let's see, Roz says, pursue your passion. Amy says, yes, woo, 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 woo. All up on her street. You're all up on her street. Ingrid out of Florida says, I received my Swift kick last month. I hear you, Lord. Violet says, no check clears faster than a reality check. The Holy Spirit will check you quick. Amen. Come on now. Ladrine Howard Peterson. Hey, everybody. That's our sponsor that I mentioned at the top of the call. Check her out. She's doing amazing things in the community. You can check her out on Facebook at Ladrine Howard Peterson, or you can connect with her on her website, do-it-delivers.com. And from what I hear, she got some juicy new stuff coming up too, in addition to all the amazing things she's doing for youth and the Youth Vision Board parties. Roz says, yes, woo, 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 woo. She says, you got to be bold and courageous. Yeah. Ingrid says, when I think of my future and purpose, woo, 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 woo. Come on now. Roz says, look in the mirror at God's greatest miracle. Roz, and that's Roz Knighton Warfield. And then there's Roz Jones, who says, yes, is your soul ready for the seed? Amy Taylor says, preach. So anyway, everybody's loving it. Everybody's agreeing. Everybody's chiming in. We're shouting you out. Author Lynette Jewell from Charlotte, North Carolina says she's checking in and excited to be here. Thank you guys for being with us. Like, we're going to have some amazing shows throughout the course of this year. Mark your calendars now for every Wednesday from 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. as we bring you the best and the brightest and the most passionate leaders and influencers who are using their gifts to touch the world in a way that otherwise it would not be touched. That's right. So in conclusion, are there any concluding words that you want to share, or any final thing that you want to talk about, and then tell people how they can stay connected with you?
Okay. So my final message to you is actually in my initial sermon, and that's push through. And so there are things that will happen in your life that will try to prevent you. And when it's time for you to birth the vision, a lot of times that's the hardest time. You know, that's when people act the craziest, you get the biggest problems, things go wrong at work, all kinds of things happen. But when that happens, that's when you're on the verge and you have to keep pushing. So I would say to everybody, don't give up. Once you decide that you're going to pursue what it is that you're supposed to do, don't give up even when it gets the hardest, because that's when you're on the brink of success and your destiny. But my website is hercommunications.com. I'm on Instagram. I'm at TV for Girls. So I don't have a lot of followers. I'm just learning about all this social media stuff. So I'm at TV for Girls on Instagram, but hercommunications.com is my website. 410-705-6318 is our phone number. So feel free to contact me. I love everybody, and I'm happy for this opportunity to be here.
Thank you so much for your great energy. I am so big on energy, and you just bring such a powerful, positive, just really, truly genuine energy for wanting to help other people, wanting to help the community, wanting to help girls. And we're honored that you said yes to coming and being with us today. People are just going off. Hashtag push through. They're giving you hearts and love and hand claps and the scriptures and everything else. Roz says yes every Wednesday. Radio waves of empowerment. I love it. Yeah. Do not diminish the power of inspiration, motivation, and empowerment in your life. Like it can be the difference between you pushing through and you giving up.
That's it.
You pushing through and you throwing in the towel because you feel like you alone. You ain't never alone as long as we here on this radio wave. Every Wednesday, you come and get your B12 shot. That's what I call it. That energy shot to help you keep pressing forward. Sometimes it's just, there's so much power in words. Do not devalue or diminish the power of words to fill your spirit and your soul for you to keep pressing through and moving towards the very thing that you know you are destined to do. We got to give a huge shout out to Jacqueline Jetter. She said, I'm here from Raleigh, North Carolina. We are so happy that you're here. Ingrid is still just loving the conversation. She says, I'm on the brink of success and destiny. Yes, yes. Amen. Kimberly Cleveland says, yes, push through. We want to welcome Dabika Bennett for being here with us. Want to welcome Amina McWhirter. I love that my tribe, my hashtag Impact Nation is in the building. If you have not heard about the Impact Nation, I'm just trying to tell you it's on and popping like popcorn. You need to get connected every year at the end of the year, and I'll wrap this up so we can get into our second guest. But every year at the end of the year, the 31st of every single year, I offer a crazy discounted opportunity to work with me, because a lot of the offerings, my coaching, my VIP days are premium price points. And some people just aren't there yet. And I get that, because I've been there when I first started. I couldn't invest $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 into coaching, even though I wanted it and I needed it. Now, I sacrificed and was able to avail myself of certain resources that I could get. So my give back once a year, on the 31st of every year, I do a year-end motivational call. And at the end of that call, I offer a ridiculously priced opportunity to work with me for people who otherwise couldn't, or for anybody who wants to be in the community. And so I did that call December 31st. It was powerful. We had over 300 people who registered for the call. They showed up, they showed out, they were energized, they were fired up, but also they were ready to be held accountable for what they say they want to do this year. Like, no more just thinking about it, talking about it. We are executing. And a part of that execution is taking yourself out of isolation. Stop isolating yourself and being a solo artist. Stop feeling like you got to be on this journey by yourself. Oh, I'm just lonely. It's just it's just me and my laptop. And it don't have to be that way. You're choosing that. That is a choice. That's a decision. So we want to invite you into our community. So what I offered was, y'all brace yourselves for y'all who haven't heard it already. 90 days of coaching for $90. You will never, y'all hear how I put the emphasis on the never, ever, ever. Most of my programs start somewhere between $5,000 to $10,000. This is 90 days of coaching for $90. So for 90 days, you're with me 12 weeks. And we started last night. So last night was our first session. So every Tuesday at 7 p.m., the Impact Nation is in this community. We have over 100, I think 115, 120 people who already have said yes. They're in the group. They were on the call last night. They are fired up. We have a private online community. Y'all, get connected. If you want in, I'm still keeping it open because you'll get all the replays of any calls that you miss. Go to 90daykickoff.com. And look, they are in this group just fierce. So I'm shouting them out. Impact Nation to Ingrid Love, Impact Nation to Myra Figueroa Clark, Impact Nation Amina McWhirter, Robin Williamson Bennett is in the Impact Nation, Kimberly Cleveland is here in the Impact Nation. Y'all, we not playing. We're not playing. Come on now. You in it too. Hey, come on. So 90daykickoff.com if you still want to get signed up and be a part of the community, get the access to all the calls that we do every Tuesday at 7 p.m. And it's 90-day. It's 90daykickoff.com. So Thank you so much for saying
Thank
yes.
you for having
the
me.
energy is great. The conversation was great. We're going to take a 1-minute break, and we're going to be back with our next guest. And I'm going to try not to jack her name up because y'all know how I do. You know how I did for 2018. For 2019, I'm going to get people's name right. All right, that's one of my goals. So we're going to be right back with Simone Walden. Ah! I said it like it was easy.
You did it.
We'll be right back.
We here at Vox Wave believe that no one in the DMV should go without a coat this winter. So we partnered with Star Imports dealership for this year's annual coat drive. If you have an old or gently used coat that can still be worn, drop it off with us. Vox Wave Studios at 4711 Off Place, Suitland, Maryland, and give the gift of warmth to somebody in need in the DMV.
We have powerful words, we have powerful minds. We use our voices and freedom takes flight. And we're ready to work, we're ready to win. We have a strategy and now we can begin. We are standing bolder, shoulder to shoulder. Playtime is over. Playtime is over. Now you are a champion. God is my witness. Imperfect perfection. Living my mission and winning. See, we are influencers. We have fear but don't stop. I have the confidence to rise to the top. We are standing bolder, shoulder to shoulder. Playtime is over. Playtime is over.
So we're talking about your
All I need is inside.
Okay, we're on there. All right. That's what happens. Sometimes you get caught off guard, which you're behind the scenes, but welcome back. Wasn't that conversation juicy? Y'all are fired up. Y'all are fired up over here on Facebook Live, and we are excited because we're just as equally fired up. So Jacqueline Jetter says, what's the link? Could somebody type the link for me in the Facebook page? It is 90daykickoff.com. 90daykickoff.com. And that's 90 is 90. So it's the number, not the spelled out. So 90kickoff.com. Am I saying 90 kickoff? 90 day. 90-day kickoff. 90-day kickoff. 90daykickoff.com. I hope that's right. Somebody type it. Come on. I see all these people from Impact Nation. Amy, Robin, Amina, Myra, all you folks. Somebody please type that for me. And I keep hitting the microphone. All right, so let me introduce my next guest because I want to make sure she gets her adequate time to talk about all the greatness she's doing in the world with her beautiful smile over here. Her name is Simone Walden. Honey, I'm doing that. Okay, I'm only doing it because my assistant typed it out. This is how it's pronounced, Cheryl. Thank you. I appreciate you, Nika. I really appreciate you. So Simone is the Chief Operating Officer of the Student Teacher. Check that out. The Student Teacher, where she is flooding the educational system with God's word of prayer and practical principles for daily living. She is a teacher. She's a coach. She's a writer. She's a speaker. She's an Amazon best-selling author. Come on, girl. And she coaches and mentors new teachers and professionals who are transitioning into the educational system. The Student Teacher, that's the name of the program or the organization. The Student Teacher assists new authors also in crafting their stories and writing their books. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much.
You look beautiful.
You look
beautiful. So the Student Teacher, like that is very intriguing. Tell me what that means and how did you come up with that name and what is the mission or the vision of, is it a group, is it an organization, or is it just an initiative?
So the Student Teacher is my business name.
Okay.
And so back in, I believe it was like April of 2017, the Lord had woke me up, and Holy Spirit said, you're the Student Teacher, because I'm a teacher by vocation, but I'm also a student of His Word. I'm always in a place of learning. So He says the Student Teacher, and I said, okay, we'll do the Student Teacher. And so that's how that has all come about.
I love that. And I love how you accepted it and you embraced. Did you fight it at all? You know, sometimes I don't know about y'all, but sometimes I'll be fighting with God, like, I don't want to do it. Like we were talking about that earlier with Kendra. She's like, no, It took him a long time to kind of boot me out so I could move forward.
Initially, I did, and I accepted what He said, but I didn't move on it right away.
Yeah. So what was the tipping point of when you finally said, I can't let this sit anymore. I have to take action?
when I start seeing myself in the students that I taught, I said I got to do something to make a difference for them. When I see myself in some of the educators who are disgruntled and upset and overwhelmed and burnt out, I said I have to do this because you've given it to me, and I walk their path now so I can go and help pull somebody else out.
Well, I love that. I love that. And so you have this whole concept of the heart of a teacher, and how a teacher has to teach not just the knowledge and the content, but they're imparting, they're guiding. And so what is some of the things that you walk them through so that they can be equipped to deal with? I mean, look, when you're in education, that's, first of all, let me just tell y'all this. Shout out to all of the teachers, like real teachers who are I don't want to be with my own children all day, every day. I need a break from my own children. I need to send them to somebody else for at least 6 to 8 hours a day.
Yeah.
So I always take my hats off to teachers who are dealing with 30 kids in a classroom. When you're talking about public school, and where my kids are, and you're talking about 30 kids in a classroom, and everybody has their own personality and their own way of how their things run in their household and what they're used to being able to do and not doing it. And now you're trying to collectively, have some type of control in that environment. Yeah. So my hats go off to every person who says yes to being a teacher. So how is it that you bring in this piece of helping them to be equipped to be able to handle the challenges that come with saying yes to being a teacher?
First, I always have people to deal with themselves first, because it's easy for us to point the finger at other people, but we have to look at, why does this bother me so much? Or why am I overlooking this? And why am I always judgmental to other people? And we first got to deal with our own selves. And once we can deal with what we got going on, then it gives us another light to look at people.
Okay, so we're going to stop right there for 1 second, and then she's going to continue. I don't care if you're a teacher or not, you need to write that one down. Like, you need to deal with your own mess. Like, seriously, I did, the other day I had a little incident. It wasn't an incident, but it was sort of an incident. I was like, I need to assess myself. Like, what makes me react or respond to that? Like, so it's really resonating with me that you're saying that right now. Wow. So that's why I'm stopping, because I'm like, wow, well, she all up in my business. Okay, go ahead.
And so once we can kind of deal with ourselves and see why certain things rub us the wrong way, or why certain things excite us or not excite us, we can kind of go through that process and see where I am, what happened to me, and then what did you do to overcome that now you can help somebody else.
Yeah, that introspection, right? You go inward and you figure out, what is it about me that causes me to react that way, to respond that way, to deal with situations that way? Why did that, like you said, why did that bother me so much? I think that's so powerful. And so do you give teachers, is there a certain platform that you create for them to be able to share and vent, or I'm gonna call it venting, because I can imagine that they probably have a lot of venting to do, and they need a safe space to do it.
So I do something on Sunday nights called Speak Life with the student teacher.
And what do you call it? Speak Life?
It's called Speak Life.
Get out. So look, that Ladrine Howard Peterson also, she's connected with someone who does a Speak Life vision board party. Oh wow. So y'all need to connect. Come on, Ladrine, you right here, Miss Simone Walden. I'm going to give you her SimoneWalden.com. SIMENE Walden, WALDEN.com. I'll make sure you get our information. All right, go ahead.
So we use that to share out with the masses, and then I also coach teachers and leaders as well, where they come and they share what they have going on, and then we kind of walk through the process. But with that Speak Life is, people have to be able to share their story. And I think you guys talked about it before, dealing with our own selves and just speaking it out of our mouths, because we overcome simply by just, sharing our story. And so I give them an opportunity to really share. And I always like to listen to what people say, and then you listen to what people are not saying. Because a lot of times what they don't say or how they respond to something that you say, it's like, okay, there's something a little deeper. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about what you're really not talking about.
So I love that. So you know how we always say that everybody has their own unique gift, that thing about you, and I can tell that this is what you are like born to do. Like, doesn't she just has that type of demeanor where I can tell, like, I could sit and just talk to you, be like, girl, let me tell you what else happened. Like, I could boo-hoo, and I feel like it would be safe. And I love that you said the key part that you said was listening. Really, really having, that's a gift. Listening is a gift, and listening where you're able to hear what the person is not saying, that is even a more powerful gift. So that's why we do this show, to encourage you guys to find out what's that thing about you, that unique thing that can't nobody do the way you do it, because somebody needs it. I'm hyper. I'm just gonna tell you right now. Ladrine and I joke all the time. Like, I got adult ADHD. I got to be moving. I don't do a whole lot of sitting and quietly listening. That's just not me. It's not my demeanor. It's not. But I'm a producer. I get things done. I got creative ideas. I execute, and then I figure the rest out later. That's just how I function.
Yeah.
But people need somebody like you who's gonna be like, look, we're gonna sit down and we're gonna talk about this, and I'm gonna listen and really hear you. And I can only imagine that that's a big part of the healing process, is having a safe space to share, to vent, to get it off your chest. Like, if you guys ever had something that was bothering you and then you just let it all out and you'd be like, whew, I feel so much better.
Yep.
Like, that's just an everyday, natural human thing. So now you're creating this safe space for teachers to be able to share, to vent, to be heard. Because when you in a classroom all day, you're not being heard with 30 kids. I'm sorry, you probably not being heard a whole lot. So now you get to have that safe space, non-judgmental space, where someone is listening to you and helping you to dig deeper on how you can better yourself. And I think that should be an ongoing process of all of our lives, is bettering ourselves, like being better today than we were yesterday. Yeah. So I love everything that you're doing. Now, I understand that you are prepping for the second annual Heart of a Teacher Symposium taking place on June 22nd.
The date change.
Okay, the date change. So you give us all the information then, and let me stop jacking it up. Let me shut my mouth and let me listen.
When I sent it to you, the date was accurate, but we kind of pushed things back. So it's going to be August the 10th, 2019, here in Jessup, Maryland, the Heart of a Teacher. We had some amazing speakers last year. It was really awesome, and it's just creating a platform for educators, parents, leaders to come and really get poured into making sure that our hearts are in the right place, because there's a lot of people have good information. There's a lot of people that know their stuff, but there's a lot of people that don't even take their own advice. And so we got to deal with what we got going on so we can give out and pour out from a healthy and a pure place.
I just love that. I swear, I want to take like a flyer and I just want to give it to every teacher I know, because I feel like they all, a lot of 90% of them need it. I'll never forget, I went to my kid's school and I heard somebody who was yelling, but the way they were yelling at the child, I thought it was the parent yelling at the child. Because, you know, sometimes your kid just do that thing to make you snap. Like everybody, all the parents understand what I'm saying. But when I looked, it wasn't. It was not a parent. It was one of the administrators of the school. I was appalled. When I tell you appalled, I was livid at the way that this person was. I mean, it took me a while to like get myself together. Like, did I really see? Like, you know, you see something with your own eyes, but then you be like, you question it. I didn't even think. I was like, was that what I? And it really was. And so I want to give the flyer to seriously, every person that I know, every teacher needs to be at this event, because all of us, it doesn't matter what industry we're in life, it doesn't matter what we're pursuing, we all need a space to be poured back into. Even myself, Miss Motivation, I'm traveling the world, I'm pouring in everybody else. Let me tell you something. I cannot be an amazing motivator and empowerment person if I'm not pouring back into me. If somebody's not filling my cup, I can't possibly go fill nobody else's cup in no other city, state, or country. So are you refueling, and refilling yourself? And some of you those of you who are here from the Impact Nation, I've been talking about identifying who's your power pellet. Y'all remember Pac-Man, Miss Pac-Man? And Pac-Man always had to go and eat that power pellet in order to re-energize so that he could make it through the ghost. He could eat the ghost. I consider that something that we can compare and apply to life, which is that you need power pellets in your life. And that's people, places, things, communities that fuel you and energize you so you can make it through the challenges, so that you can eat through, walk through, press through the challenges, the setbacks, the roadblocks, and everything that's going to come your way when life gut punches you as you're pursuing your destiny. So I just love everything about what you're doing. How do people get more information and get tickets for the symposium, and give us the date one more time?
Okay, so the date is August 10th, 2019. It's going to be here in Jessup, Maryland. And the reason why the Lord chose that is because he told me, if you know anything about Jessup, I'm from North Carolina, but I've been.
I was going to say, wait a minute, are you? Because she keep referencing it like it's going to be here in Maryland. Okay.
Because a lot of people still think I live in North Carolina. I've been here for 3 years, so I always say that.
That's important. No, that's important. That's okay. North Carolina in the building. Come on, y'all.
So there are 5 prison institutions in Jessup. And when we went there last year, because I do something called, I do praying for the school system every Monday, Wednesday, Friday on my Facebook. And so he said, I want you to go to Jessup because I want you to destroy the school to prison pipeline. And so it's always going to be in Jessup, Maryland for that reason.
Wow.
So it's August 10th, 2019. Tickets are not out yet, but they will be out in the next coming months. I do have another event that we're doing in February that people can get. It's called Pretty Broken and Handsomely Hearted, Healing the Hurting Church Girl and Handsome Gentleman, because it's still under the same concept of the heart of a teacher where people are broken and people are going through. And you said safe space, and that's one thing God has allowed me to do is create safe space where people can come and really share what's on their heart and get the help they need. So we're merging the mental health with the biblical aspect to really get people what they need.
You are just brilliant. Like, I love that both you and Kendra, you everything about what you are creating and offering is so intentional. Like you said, it will always be in Jessup for this reason, because there are, and I love that when people don't just throw something together, but there is a real intention, there's a real purpose, there's, like you said, the pipeline, like everything about what you're doing just screams out to me, this is what you were born to do. Like you were destined for this, and that you are literally going to save lives and change lives through this work that you're doing, both you and Kendra. And I'm so honored to have both of you here. Y'all have just filled me for, my first live show for the new year. I love being connected to people who are very clear about their purpose, who have tapped into their passion, and who are using their gifts to help serve others, right? That's so, so important. Stevie Mills is checking in. She says, yes, Simone is pure amazingness. Yes, she is. Thank you for being here with us. I got to go back. I gotta go back and read some of these comments really quickly before we wrap up. Natasha Allen is here. Thank you so much for being here. Let's see. And then we have, Ladrine is just agreeing. She's like, yes, love that. Speak life. James Derek Newkirk says, hi, sister. Yes, that's my sister. Sim, he calling you Sim. Your little nicknames. Ingrid says, yes, it's not what you say, it's what you don't say. She says, I listen between the lines. Yeah. And she says, yes, fill your cup and give from the overflow. Ladrine says, I was driving and couldn't engage, but today's show is fire. Come on now. We're going to bring the fire for 2019. Simone Walden, kudos for the work that you do. That's from Natasha Allen. And great to see you too, Stevie Mills. She says, great to see you, Cheryl. You stay rocking your it factor to the fullest. Thank you, sis. I appreciate it. So if you could say any final words to our viewing audience or listening audience about this idea and this concept of a teacher's heart, and or anything that you provide in terms of people getting the healing that they need internally so that they can show up in their brilliance externally. Please give us any closing words, and then how people can stay connected with you.
Okay. So my advice to you guys is to really pray and ask the Lord to send you the right people, because even with, the rise of social media and people, portraying their gifts, everybody is not for you. And so you have to pray and make sure that the Lord sends the right person to you. And you'll know once you get connected to them that it's a safe space, that you can talk to them, and then be honest with yourself about where you are, where you've been, and you have to be ready to accept the help. Because a lot of people say they want the help, but when it comes and it doesn't come in the package that they want, they kind of reject it. So you have to accept the help that you're asking for. We got two
ministers in the building today. Come on now. You might, come on. That's the truth. That's the truth. Don't let everybody speak into your life. Everybody don't have business speaking into your life or over your life. You got to have discernment, and you got to pray for wisdom. But when the right people come along, when God sends those divine connections, you have to be open and ready to receive. I love it. And how do people stay connected with you?
You can connect with me on all social media sites at SimoneWalden.com. You can go to my website at www.SimoneWalden.com, and you can follow my Facebook page, the business page, The Student Teacher.
So the student teacher, I love it, on social media, Facebook. And if you want to go to her website, it's SimoneWalden.com. Hey, Stevie, or hey, Andrea, thank you so much for being here. Or Natasha, can one of you guys type the website, which is SimoneWalden.com. That's SIMENE Walden, WALDEN.com. SIMENEWALDEN.com. Was today's show fire, or was it fire? Come on now. Like, literally 2019 is off to an amazing start. I want to encourage every one of you who have tuned in to make sure that you're back here again next Wednesday, same time, same place, 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern time. But don't just come, bring a friend, tell a friend. Because when you are being fueled and you are being re-energized, you need to make sure that the people who are in your circle, the people who are in your front row, that they also have access to the energizing that you have access to be able to fill their cup. Because you would never believe how many people are trying to go at this thing called life success alone. People are hurting. People need healing. People need hope. They need that little glimmer of light to believe that there's something better on the opposite side of what they're currently experiencing. All of us go through seasons of darkness. Like, it don't matter how successful you are right now. It don't matter who you are, what's your name, what's your title. Every one of us, life will challenge you and gut punch you and try to knock you out. But it's up to you to stay connected to the sources that allow you to bounce back, that allow you to get that resilience and to build your resilience muscle so you can stay in the game. That's the challenge, that's the call to action to every single one of you, is to stick with it, to stay in the game. Don't let anything take you out of pursuing your destiny and impacting the world with your unique gift. Thank you so much, Ingrid, for typing that, SeminaeWalden.com. Thank you, Natasha. Thanks to everybody for being here. Again, we will be here. Are they trying to tell me something? Again, we will be here again next Wednesday from 12 to 1. Let me stop talking. See y'all next Wednesday.
I don't need your permission. Yes, I'm on a mission. I'll win. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Now listen, I want y'all to repeat after me, okay? Because we're going to make some declarations in here today. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. I'm building my legacy for the whole world to see. You say, I'm building my legacy for the whole world to see. Say, I'm building my legacy for the whole world to see me. Say, I'm building my legacy for the whole world to see. You say, we are standing bolder, we're shoulder to shoulder. We are standing bolder, we're shoulder to shoulder. We are standing bolder.